of Tom Hiddleston.
You weren't really speaking of me, were you?
Actually, we were.
Okay. Wow, amazing.
But like Loki, you managed to appear at the perfect time, kind of sight unseen.
I can't self-duplicate though, I'm afraid.
That's too bad. We were hoping you would give us a shot.
Sorry.
So one of the things we were talking about is the incredibly sympathetic performance that you draw as a supervillain. Talk to me about what spoke to you in Loki and how you drew that out.
Gosh, thank you very much. Well, you know, I think the foundations, I suppose, were laid by Kenneth Branagh in his film, in that you know, Loki is the second son in this royal family, and he's always grown up in Thor's shadow, which is, I think, hard enough. And then at a certain point he realizes that he's adopted and he's been lied to, and sort of he feels incredibly betrayed, like his whole life, his life history is a lie. And unfortunately what he does with that revelation is he sort of, you know, falls into a terrible kind of pit of despair, really, and wants to take it out on someone. He wants revenge on that feeling of anger, and the Avengers really takes that as its springboard for the character, and so Loki, he's desperate for identity. He's desperate for possession of something to hold on to, so that he can actually call himself. And the idea is that Thor has Asgard, and Odin has Asgard, and he was born to be a king, but he won't have Asgard or Jotunheim, so he's come down to Earth to rule this inferior planet, in his eyes, as their king. And his completely misguided intention is that the human race is constantly at war with each other, so if it's united in the reverence of one king, everyone will be happy. But like every fascist who's ever lived, that kind of autocratic thinking is just really tragic, basically. Anyway, I'll stop talking.
No, please don't stop talking. It's funny that you mentioned the word talking. You have such wonderful elevated speech. The Asgardians speak in slightly elevated language. And I'm curious, you know, you are about to do a bunch of Henry projects. Joss Whedon is a big Shakespeare fan. How does that play, and how do you ground that elevated speech to fit into the world and make it a real character?
I guess it's just the way I was trained. You know, it's I went to an acting college in London called RADA, so the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, and you know, that's where you learn the nuts and bolts of the craft of acting.
Well, thank you so much. It clearly shows in this movie. Have a wonderful time tonight. No problem. Enjoy yourself. All right.